Here's your invitation to come join Leatherface along with myself. My name is Mike, and this is my collectible channel. This is the brand new 50th anniversary Texas Chainsaw Massacre NECA figure, which was just released. We're going to be checking this out on today's episode. Before we begin, I want to let everybody know that I do have an eBay store where I sell a lot of horror and wrestling collectibles. So the link is on the screen as well as in the video description, so you can check it out from there. Lots of good stuff. And if you bought something from the store, thank you. Hope you're enjoying whatever you picked up. We're going to get on with today's episode. We begin our video with a look at the box that this comes in. And unfortunately for mine, it does have a crease here by the 50th anniversary logo. This was the only one they had at Walmart, so my options were get a damaged one or not get one at all. And on the top you have a kind of an updated logo for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This has more of a border around the lettering, whereas the original logo did not. Normally I'm more particular about this, but I figured I'd probably be buying a second as it were, so having one damaged is not really a big deal. Not really a fan of this look of Leatherface. This is the old lady mask and outfit, which is also included as a swappable kind of clothes for Leatherface. Again, with the updated logo right there. Coming around back. It's a nice little collage of different poses you can do with this figure. Tells you all the items that he comes with on the back as well. And on the side, the good old classic Leatherface look. To the side here, I do have the previous NECA release, which we're going to compare this to. Then on the bottom of the box here, we have the credits for the figure. And we have the figure in the window box here, as well as another photo there. These things typically put off a very bad glare, so I'm going to go ahead and get this out of here and we'll take a look at it that way. So one cool thing they did on the insert of the packaging was include this, which is a kind of a backdrop of Leatherface's house as it appears in the film. In case you want to display it this way, you have the option to do that. This here is the figure, and that is the new sculpt for which you get in 2025 along with that one. Kind of like the one he has on, so I'm probably not going to switch the head out. And there is the old lady mask that it comes with. So just for quick reference, I have here the older, not sure when this was released. This was the previous NECA, and then that's the newer one. So in my opinion, the newer one is definitely a better sculpt. We're going to take a look at everything though and compare these side by side. In addition, he comes with a chainsaw, a set of hands, and all these accessories which you see here, including the meat hook, the sledgehammer, and other various weapons. So we're going to take a top to bottom look at this new figure, and then we'll compare it with the previous NECA release. Chainsaw is the correct color, matching the film. Not very crazy about the way his shirt looks. As far as accuracy, it's not quite there. the face, the sculpt on the face is awesome. This might be the second best figure that I own, next to the Leatherface statue that I picked up. And this is from the side what he would look like. And finally around back. And the other profile looks something like this. Again, not enough detail on the shirt and not quite enough, he's not gritty enough as far as his skin is very clean compared to the previous figures. Doesn't really pick up that well on the camera that I'm using, but his skin is super clean, and you'll see the comparison when we put these guys side by side, what I'm talking about. One advantage is he doesn't seem to have to acquire a stand. He doesn't really need a figure stand. He's standing on his own, so that's a plus. Because a lot of these figures you buy, they will not stand up. And that's a huge QC problem for me. How can they sell something that doesn't include a stand that won't stand up? So comparing these two right away, you could see that this one is actually more true scale to Gunnar Hansen as far as his mass. This is a very bulky figure, whereas this one is a little more on the skinnier Leatherface side. I mean, if you look at his arms, you see exactly what I'm talking about. His arms shouldn't be quite that thin. And with the new figure, they got it right. His arms are a little bit more bulky. And this figure, the color of the chainsaw is not the correct one. In the new figure, they corrected it. The tie, I'm not really able to speak on because it's behind his apron and I haven't pulled it out. The mask, easily the winner is the newer figure. When looking at them side by side. Even the hair is 100 times better on the newer figure than the previous NECA release. Now the one fall off, and the one advantage that this one does have, is if you look at his skin tone, the dark and the grit in the skin is there, versus this one it is not. And you can see them side by side, what I mean. It's kind of like the animatronic that I have. The Lowe's animatronic is clean and like this, whereas the Party City animatronic that I have, very similar. The skin is shaded in and the proper color. We're a little bit more true to the film. So I want to say that this came out somewhere around 2018, possibly. You can see the advancement in the detail on the newer figure since then. So if you're considering upgrading, if you have this and you're on the fence about this, easily this is a must-have for a Leatherface collector such as myself. You can see just the difference side by side, especially because I was kind of on the fence about buying this myself. This would be probably the, I don't know, 6th or 7th of this Leatherface in particular that I bought. But it is a definite upgrade, and 34 bucks wasn't a big ask for this Leatherface upgrade. So in trying to be a completist for my video and swap the heads out so I could show you guys what this looks like, I found out this. His tie, they went a cheap route, and this is how the tie connects, unfortunately. Kind of like if you collect wrestling figures and you're familiar with the Ultimate Warrior. It's very similar to how the Ultimate Warrior's tassels go on the figure. You gotta punch them in there and they don't stay that great. And also when I was trying to swap the head out, the whole head pulled off with the neck included, so hopefully this is even able to come off from this point. There we go. Okay, to be a completist with my video, this is the other option for the swappable head. Not really feeling this head mold on this one. I think the other one that I have on suits the figure better. But now we can compare the ties, just about the same. And again, with the head coming off, I'm just trying to swap these out. The head sticks to the neck and becomes impossible to take off. So sorry to take the lazy approach with this, but if you buy this, you'll see what I mean. So there's no way to get this. This is not really tied. It's giving the illusion of this being tied. And this does not stretch enough to kind of make it over his body without, I think if you stretch this too much, this is gonna just tear apart, you know what I mean? So there's no way I could get this on. I was gonna try and get this on other than this temporarily. Just slide it over. This is the only way I can do this to give the illusion that he's wearing this. His body's a little bit too big to be able to pull this around the back comfortably for me without breaking this kind of plastic elastic stuff. But this is how he would look with the old lady get up on. Again, I'm personally not a fan of this look. I like the pretty lady and the classic Leatherface. So this is the only time that I'll be displaying this like this, is for the purpose of this video. I'm going to revert mine back to the way that I'll be displaying him. Alright, well, I think this is what I'm going to keep mine as. I got to switch his hand out because the open hand that I had on there, this one, was not going to hold the chainsaw well. This is how I'm going to display mine in my Leatherface cabinet. I'm going to go ahead and put him in there, joining the Leatherface family. 50th anniversary Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface NECA. Highly encourage you to pick this up. Highly recommend this figure. This is an awesome sculpt. We've gone over the pluses and the minuses and everything in between. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm going to put the link up on the screen right now, as well as in the video description. You can find it there. My Halloween life. _ between Halloween and life. I'm going to go put this guy in my cabinet. We'll catch you guys later on the channel. Until next time, I'll say so long, everybody.